at what point did you realize things needed to change?
I did not become aware of the cycle of anxiety until the end.
Today we explore how mental health journeys shape us.
When we experience trauma, we actually just create a conclusion that helps us survive.
How did those early experiences impact your self-view and relationships later on?
Well, my conclusion was I was just unlovable.
I'm here to dive into inspiring stories, exploring growth, healing, and self-connection. I am your host, Cody Martin, so let's get to it. Today's focus will be, we're going to talk to Natalie Alexander about her personal journey, professional insights, what challenges helped her grow, and how can her story inspire our listeners. Natalie, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Now, I thank you for taking the time out to be here. I know it took a lot to get here.
You're right.
But we're here.
Okay.
Nevertheless. So
Yep.
let's just dive right into
Sure.
it. Let's talk about just, your career in mental health. So can you share what drew you to counseling?
To become a therapist, it was really a few things. I was noticing, people were professionals, the people in my world, they were professionals, they were successful, but their relationships were very tense or toxic or just non-existent.
Yeah.
So I was on a mission to figure out, how is it that people can be professional and reach the highest heights,
Yes.
but not have fulfilling relationships, right? So there was that, but there was also my home life with my family and my brother who was in and out of jail and who was struggling with substance abuse, and my parents' relationship. I was just kind of wanting to figure things out. So that's number two. Number three is people kept walking up to me, like random strangers just would walk up to me, or if I was at the store, and they would just start pouring out their problems to me. Oh my gosh. And then, or my friends, they would just tell me stuff, and somehow I would have the answer.
Yeah.
Thanks, Natalie, you're the best. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Talk to you later. And that just kind of became the thing.
Yeah.
One day I was having a conversation with my OBGYN. I was obviously pregnant, and she was like, what do you think that you would be best at doing? At the time I was working in dentistry. And I thought, maybe helping people solve their problems. And she was like, therapist. So she encouraged me while I was pregnant with my second child, to go into becoming a therapist.
So you got the bug. You got bit by the bug.
I got bit by the bug.
Naturally and organically.
Yes.
Which is the best therapist, to be honest with you. That's why you're so dope. But how did your background experiences lead to you to focus on relationships and trauma?
My background experience, I was married. I'm now divorced. So essentially, on my healing journey, I learned that it was my trauma and it was his trauma that really factored into the demise and erosion of our relationship. And I actually found myself, while still married, getting insights on the couples that I was serving, like, oh, that's what that is, that's what that looks like, and being able to offer recommendations and perspectives that I didn't have or I couldn't reach in my own personal life, but I was able to help them. The amount of marriages that have been saved as a result of
yours going down.
Mine going down the drain.
I mean, it's all good. We got to walk through the fight to be able to help other people.
Right.
Oh man, so that's
Yeah.
That's definitely something. So you said something I wanted, but it'll come to me because I wanted to piggyback off something that you just said, but it'll come back to me. But I want to talk about just the balance of your personal and your professional growth and what role has clinical training played in your own journey.
Clinical training in my own journey, definitely, like I was saying before, with regards to trauma, close to the end of my marriage, I was like, okay, look, there's trauma that's going on. So I came across a certification on trauma based on the book called It Didn't Start With You by Mark Wolian.
Okay.
And essentially the premise is generational trauma, like when we find ourselves feeling a certain symptom and we don't know why, life other than that is great. Right, we look into, an aunt or an uncle or a family member whose trauma you may be carrying in your genes. And so when we put words to that, then those symptoms go away, because essentially that trauma wasn't yours. It was the generation before you. And then just being able to look and be like, okay, that whatever's going on between you and your partner has nothing to do with you and your partner. It's really a response, a reaction, the trigger, right? That was before this relationship. So, but once again, based on the insights of me kind of just trying to figure out what's going on between my ex-husband and myself, and wanting to find answers. Of course, as a therapist, I could not be his therapist, nor did I try, because I was his wife, and I wanted to support the process. And so it really took some months for me to actually years, for me to settle into my own trauma and really dig deep into the depths and the levels of my own personal trauma and how it also played into the demise and the erosion of the marriage, right? And so kind of just looking into that.
Okay, so when you talk about, just the professional experience and the trainings and those things,
Right.
and then you got your personal resilience. How do you connect your personal and your professional resilience?
My personal and professional resilience, how do I connect them? Yeah, that's a good question. The best way at this point that I could say connecting my personal and professional resilience is with the cord of empathy.
Yes.
I know what you've been through. I know where you're coming from. And being able to convey that so that people feel safe. Because when we're talking about trauma and healing from trauma, we're talking about creating a safe space. And empathy is the experience of being empathized with, takes your guards all the way down where you feel safe enough to say what you need to say and to release what needs to be released on the healing journey. So it kind of blends in, when I was going through in my marriage, there was no empathy anywhere. Nobody understood what I was saying. The therapists that I went to, over their heads.
No help.
No help. There was no empathy. I remember one in particular, I started crying, like I was, tearing up, and he was like,
Huh?
yes.
What?
And I sucked them tears back up real fast. And I was like, okay, well.
I would have walked away real fast.
I mean, yeah, that didn't last very long, but
Right.
I didn't get help. The community they did the best that they could, but it didn't help. And then, slap in the face, the people in my community are still married.
Yeah.
And so I really have to do what I have to do for my own mental health, right? And when we talk about resilience, sometimes ending something that you want to last forever is what maintains your resilience.
No, for sure.
Yeah. So.
For sure. Advancing through adversity.
Yeah.
You mentioned something earlier, it came back to me. You said something about, helping people, basically how it kind of helped you. Ain't it funny how, as a counselor, people come to us for help, but while we're helping them, they're actually helping us. Because certain issues kind of arise that may be familiar, that may be something that we was trying to, that we was thinking about, but we didn't necessarily connect that dot. And then it strengthened us as individuals on our own personal journey, but also give us more tools on the professional realm.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You experience that a lot?
I experienced it today.
Okay.
I experienced it today. I'm not going to go into detail about it today, but I definitely was able to resonate with my client as she was talking about something that she just couldn't figure out. And it was the same thing that I couldn't figure out.
Right.
So I got a pad and paper. Of course, I'm not going to tell my client, listen, let me tell you a little more so I can figure it out. But I got a pad and paper, and I was like, okay. I wrote it down, and took some deep breaths, and heard, her whatever it was that she was sharing, and it came to me. And so I was able to offer her, make the connections for her, and at a later time when I'm not helping other people, take my time for myself to help connect the dots for me. So that happens, but not very frequently. Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about just knowledge, right? You wrote a book.
Yes.
Let's talk about that book. So what inspired the magic of relationship resilience, and what's one takeaway you hope the readers remember?
Inspired the magic of the end of my marriage. Yeah, I mean, the book starts with me describing the last therapy session that he and I had, where I was in tears because I realized in that moment that, and I'm trying to fight back tears now.
I mean, listen, let it go.
I know, it's real. I realized that the things that I had asked for in the marriage, you know, the closeness, the vulnerability, the transparency, it was like, it's not going to happen here. And eventually, you know, he would probably get it. It would probably click. And it would be a benefit that the woman that he ends up with, it was not going to be me. And, you know, after that, it was on my journey of healing, which obviously I'm still doing, that the book was inspired. Like I'm learning things, right? Because it wasn't all him, and obviously it was me and him. It takes two to tango, right? So it was that, and also understanding and realizing there are a lot of women in our community who think a certain way and who won't let go of certain narratives that are a negative effect on the marriage. So the purpose of the book is to educate our women to know how to interact with her man, with her partner, for the purposes of longevity, right? It's the understanding that your partner, your man has feelings and that he loves you to the moon and back. Treat him like that. Love on him like that. Talk to him like that. Don't just say whatever comes to your mind just because I said it and I felt that way and expect him to take it. No, it looks like he's taking it because he doesn't want to lose you in the marriage. So he's not going to tell you really what's going on, but what he's going to do is go inward and inward and inward until it's just come home from work, eat dinner, maybe have sex, take care of the kids, wash, rinse, repeat. When you ask by the time that happens, you're asking him what's wrong. He's like, I'm good, I'm cool. Either he's with another woman or he's just totally surviving in this marriage because he believes in the marriage and doesn't want to leave you, right? So that's essentially what happened in my marriage on another, on another level. And this book, the purpose of this book is to give her tools to avoid that ending. It doesn't have to go that way. It's communication. There's a few chapters on communication. My favorite chapter is about sex. You're just giving it to him with the realization that it's a part of his existence. Right. It's a part of his existence. Sure. This narrative of, if you don't give it to him, somebody else will. Let's throw that in the trash. Right. That could be a possibility, but ultimately he is your husband. Right. Why wouldn't you give it to him? Number one, it's good, it feels good, and the pleasure is for you also, right. My friend, absolutely. To the women. So it's all of that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's real, man. You need a moment?
I'm taking a few days. No, I'm good.
That
thanks.
was heavy.
Yeah, it was.
You know what I'm saying? All right, so
you need a moment?
Yeah. Because I'm going to continue going, but as we're talking about, like, the pitfalls and things like that, I mean, those things that get heavy. It's trauma.
Right. It is.
You know what I'm saying?
It is.
And it's being peeled back, so I don't just want to flood
push
you.
Right. Got you.
So that's it, because, I wanted to just kind of get into your childhood. Mm-hmm. And
all of this without no tissue, Cody?
Hey, I was just thinking that. I was like, no, I didn't expect you.
I didn't expect it either, but come on, resilient.
In my mind, I gotta go get some tissue. Man.
But yeah, because resilient minds speaks to getting to the other side of things, moving through and getting to the other side of things. Sure. But I think in this process, I might still be in the midst of things, right? Yeah. Which also is a characteristic, being able to be in the midst of something and not crumbling, right. while you're going through it. Right. So next time, bring some tissue.
I will. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go to Costco's and get a whole big box of tissues. I ain't never gonna be without tissue ever again. But you mentioned struggles with feeling unloved as a child. Mm-hmm. How did those early experiences impact your self-view and relationships later on?
Mm-hmm. When we experience trauma, we actually just create a conclusion that helps us survive. Mm-hmm. And so my conclusion was I was just unlovable. Oh, wow. Today is not a good day for
I know, right?
this kind of I was not ready. But it's okay. It's okay. If you're okay, I'm okay. I think this is
We're getting
gonna be
people
all
what they
right.
want.
I, from the core of me, believed that I was unlovable. And so my mission was, of course, to be loving and to show myself loving. And I do consider myself a loving person. I remember, I think it was probably my first or second therapy session in life. The woman leaned back and said, "Are you lovable?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" Like, no one has ever, that didn't even occur to me. But then, of course, I chose a man. I chose to marry a man who may have felt the same way, but validated, his response to me at times validated this narrative of being unlovable. And everywhere I went, I would kind of use certain strategies that would kind of make me likable. But then if I thought I was likable, I would try to move into the space of maybe, are you going to love me? And of course, no, because whatever we believe, we kind of exude, and, at least. So I don't know if I answered the question.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So look,
It's deep today.
I'm still going.
I'm here.
Oh,
I'm
man.
here.
All right. So we just spoke about your childhood.
Mm-hmm.
Now I want to you spoke about your marriage, but we'll go I just want to dig into your marriage struggles. Right. So in your marriage, you faced a cycle of anxiety and disconnection.
Mm-hmm.
What was that like? And at what point did you realize things needed to change?
I did not realize, I did not become aware of the cycle of anxiety until the end. This is in like the early 2000s, early to mid 2000s. Anxiety was still being studied. We did not know what it was then, what it is now. We didn't know about it then. On top of that, being African American, those resources were not as readily available to us. And I was a church goer, like I was dedicated.
Yeah.
So that was not a thing that was discussed in the community until close to the end. And when I brought it to his attention, I was like, well, maybe there's some anxiety going on. It just made things worse because when a husband hears one thing after another, after a while, he just hears, "You suck." And so I really just couldn't say much, although I was trying to help him, I was trying to help me, I was trying to just find answers, how it affected us. So it just kind of spiraled, just got worse because we just didn't have words, and none of our peers had the language either to describe what was going on and to help us. We had some friends that they are marriage coaches here in the Atlanta area, and they counseled us the best that they could. Shout out to Shirley and Shannon. And
Shout out Shirley and
Shannon, yeah. They helped us the best way they could, and so, but it just wasn't what we needed, or with the verbiage that we needed, the depth of what we needed. It was really about our trauma, ultimately.
Yeah. So it's very important, very, very important to dig into your trauma, man, so that you can heal and protect the relationships moving forward.
Absolutely.
All right, so I'm gonna get into one more, and then I'm gonna take a break.
Yeah.
So a health wake-up call.
A what?
Health
wake-up call.
So, you experienced a life-threatening health event.
Yeah.
How did that moment shape your commitment to healing and self-connection?
All right. So I'm going to take a few steps back so that I can take a few steps forward. My grandmother, my maternal grandmother, died in her sleep of an arrhythmia, right? And it wasn't, the autopsy showed that she had cardiomyopathy, weak heart, okay? And then my mother had an episode at the same age that her mother had died, 58, she had the episode. Months after that, I was getting chest pains, right? And I was just newly married. I was getting chest pains. Things weren't going well between my spouse and I. There was a lack of communication. I was like, what's going on? And I was getting chest pains. Come to find out I had the same diagnosis, okay? And when I talked to the cardiologist, I was like, I think it's stress-induced. And this is over 20 years ago. She was like, oh, there's no research that supports that stress causes this kind of episode. Mm-hmm. So fast forward 18 years, I'm at the end of my marriage. I'm trying to convince him, hey, let's try to work on this. This is where I'm coming from. I just need you to understand this. And I'm perseverating over this thing. I'm praying over this thing, and I'm crying out to God over this thing. I'm trying. I'm falling asleep with this thing, waking up with this thing. And one night, my breath is kind of just getting more and more shallow. And I'm like, something's going on. My friend, she says, take your blood pressure. It's like at first 90 something over something. And then the next time I take it, it's 80 something over something. My friend goes, call the doctor. So I call the doctor, on-call doctor. He's like, go ahead to the fire department, let them take it. By the time they took it, it was 77 over 44. They were like, we're gonna take it to the hospital. So we get to the hospital, and they take they're sitting in triage, they take it. And then the next thing I know, it's like a scene from Grey's Anatomy. I'm on a gurney, they're rushing me they're like, don't worry, Miss Alexander, we're gonna take care of you, everything's gonna be fine. There are 3 people on each side rushing me to the ICU. And they got me hooked up, and I'm in the dark room. I don't know if they expected me to die, I don't know, but I was just in the dark room. And something in me, or God, if you will, was like, okay, Natalie, do you want to live, was the question. I thought about it, I said, well, yeah, I have 3 children. Of course I'm gonna live. And the voice was like, not audible voice, but the sentiment was, no, do you wanna live for you? And I had to think about it. I was like, well, if I die, I won't get to experience the things that life has to offer. Beautiful sunrises, beautiful sunsets, laughter with friends, a booming career, whatever life holds, I won't be able to experience the goodness of it. So I was like, nah, I'm gonna live. I'm keeping my breath, Lord. I'm gonna live, and let's do this. About half an hour later, the doctor comes in and says, hey, we're gonna keep you for 4 days. We gotta keep you because your heart's not doing what it's supposed to do. And that day, I started my journey to learning how to live life, learning how to detach my trigger from my trauma, recognize the trigger, dig deep into the trauma, value relationships, learn how to be loved, and which of course I'm still learning, and just kind of choose life. Yeah.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back with Natalie Alexander. The roadblocks are meant to stop you from getting to your purpose. The definition of resilience is advancing, the ability to advance in life despite life's challenges and the adversity that you've dealt with or that you are currently dealing with. But the key is having the tools that you need to be able to break down those roadblocks. We got to keep that at the forefront of our mind and our thought process as we're trying to advance in life, because sometimes we get lost in the weeds, right? Sometimes we become an anchor and hold ourselves back because we mirror some of the things that we love, some of the people that we love, and we fall into their world, although a higher power has put a higher purpose on your life. And he's not gonna wait but so long for you to get your stuff together so that you can advance in life despite adversity. How you feel?
I'm good, thank you. Took a couple deep breaths. Yeah. I'm good.
Yeah, you good?
Yes.
All right. So we talked about, a few successes. We talked about, the pitfalls, right? Mm-hmm. In which we had to take a break.
Right.
Now I just kind of want to talk about the journey. Mm-hmm. What bridged that gap from, the pitfalls to the success. Mm-hmm. Choosing resilience. So you talk about the decision to live. Mm-hmm. That changed everything. Mm-hmm. Can you tell us more about that moment and how did faith and connection help?
That moment, really, once again, it was the choice to live. It was the choice to recognize that I'm here for a purpose, mm-hmm. and kind of just reach out to my support systems, right? So I'm in the hospital. I have a cousin, Carla Foster. Shout out to Carla, my cousin. Her and her husband are medical professionals. They're doctors in New York. So they linked up to the cardiologist here and had a whole conference. So that was one way for me to establish resilience. I reached out to my support right? That they were there. But I also have a pastor who I reached out to that has been walking with me. I'm going to cry again.
Oh, man. It's not good.
Yeah, man, through this whole thing. And if the one thing that I really want to stress is the value of support.
Yes,
I definitely could not have done this without him.
for sure.
You know, being able to call him and hash some things out. And he has been committed to calling me on my bullshit
Oh, wow.
and helping me see things from another perspective, right? Are you sure that's what it is, Natalie? Are you sure? Don't you want to consider a different perspective? And a lot of times I didn't know the answers, and I would get flustered and frustrated, and he'd be like, it's okay. You don't need to know right now. This is a process. He was that just slow hand just walking me through that I didn't even know how to say it, but he's just consistent.
Yeah.
And, you know, being a trauma survivor, if you will, a lot of us that have experienced trauma don't want to bother people with our stuff. We don't want to call people for help. And the amount of times that he has said to me, you can call me anytime. It's not a bother. You're not bothering me. It's okay, right? It took about 1.5 years, 2 years for me to actually trust that it's okay for me to reach out to him. And so, you know, his support has been invaluable. He's become a friend. He's become a mentor. He's become a coach to my life. He's, you know, I refer to him when I talk to my children. I refer to him as Uncle Lawrence. I mean, he's achieved uncle status. So Uncle Pastor Lawrence Souffrant.
Okay.
Yes. Just having that support is the bridge, is the thing that helped me move from the decision into actually, you know, living and questioning some things and revamping some of my belief systems that hindered me from actually living.
Yeah.
So.
Learning self-acceptance. What steps did you take to connect with yourself? And how did friends, family, and support system make a difference?
The steps that I took to connect with myself involved time with myself and breath work.
Yeah.
Essentially, it's the breath work.
You big on that breath.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it changes everything.
It
It resets the nervous system. It clarifies the mind. It obviously brings oxygen to the cells, and all those things. Breath work helps me connect to myself, helps me realize and just come to grips with some things about me. Right. Of course, Lawrence was also a very valuable piece of the equation, because there were things about myself that he would point to, and I'd be like, no, that's not it. I don't know what you're talking about. That's not it. The day he told me, you're anxious, I'm like, I'm not anxious. No, I'm not. And it was like, oh, shit. That was an anxious thing. Yeah. Just having, you know, that support system and that connection to my support system to show me myself. I've surrounded myself with people that tell me the truth about me. And just the truth in general. And I can say some crazy stuff, and if I'm doing some things, making some crazy decisions, they can be like, well, I don't want you to be hurt. This is my concern. Like, I don't think, you know, that's a good, and then just being able to come back, and if I move forward with said bad decision, they're not going anywhere. They're not going to judge me. They're going to be like, okay, so where we go from here? Yeah. So it all connects. Can't really do one without the other.
No.
Right.
No, you're absolutely right. All right, so committing to growth and healing, from therapy to personal insights, you've built a new path. What practices or mindsets were most powerful in getting you there?
Practices, mindsets, definitely the meditations, the manifestations, the speaking the things into existence. Definitely those things. About a year before, it's about 3 years ago. Here's another thing. Along with the core of believing that I was unloved, I believed that I was not beautiful. I believed that I was not attractive. And it took about a year of me telling myself, you're beautiful, you're so pretty, and smiling at myself in the mirror for me to actually believe it. And then I began exuding it, and of course attracting people who are attracted to me and to my beauty, and really sitting in it and walking into a room and changing the atmosphere of the room. It's actually a practice, and it's a process of really what I tell myself. I tell my clients all the time that our brains register what it hears our mouth say.
Right.
And so it really is just me practicing and other people, right? Yeah.
Why do you feel that? Why did you feel? I know you said you don't feel that now, but why? Because you're not the only woman that I've encountered that feel like that.
Well,
right?
That she's not pretty or beautiful, really?
I don't really understand that, because it'd be the beautiful women, the attractive women that don't feel like they're that. Why?
It's the absence of the father. You'll know that when your daughter puts on a pretty dress, where is the first place that she goes to show that dress off to?
Definitely come to me.
They come to you.
Sure.
And they twirl the dress to make sure that the dress does what it does.
Sure.
And then you tell her you're so pretty. And then what happens when you tell her that she's pretty? Where does she go?
I mean, she light up. Then she go to her sister or go to her mama.
Right. Leave the room.
Yeah.
She's got her cup filled.
Sure. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's that presence of the father that tells her that she is who she is. She's beautiful. You're pretty. You're so pretty. And then it's how you treat their mother.
Absolutely.
Okay? When you're frustrated and having a bad day or whatever, and you have an argument, okay, great, you have an argument. And then when you come back around, you make amends, you're hugging and kissing on her, and you smile. When you look at their mother and you smile at her and you make her laugh, they internalize it. Because girls, they reflect their mother's emotions. When mom's having a bad day or if mom's depressed, they're depressed. They grow up thinking that way. But if mom's beauty has never been validated, and if she's never been validated, it doesn't exist.
Wow.
She has to find it in herself as an adult, which is hard work.
Dang.
It's doable, but it's hard work.
That's real. Nah, you just connected a dot for me, for real. Which, I mean, I know I'm doing right.
Good.
You know what I'm saying? By
Good.
my girls.
I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah, for sure. That's that's the most important thing in my world. So I got to make sure I get insight, because I don't want them to grow up feeling like that. You know what I'm saying? Or even thinking that, or even let anybody penetrate their mental to even think that,
Right.
like, at all.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, okay.
You're welcome.
Nah, I appreciate it, for real. Shit, you about to make me cry.
Good. I don't want to be the only one here at this table tearing up, crying. Good.
Okay. All right. So we spoke a little bit about the journey. Let's get back into the successes and a resilient mindset. So, looking back, what do you feel most proud of about your journey, and how has resilience become a part of your daily life?
I am most proud of my book and just coming this far in my journey. Just coming this far, I'm most proud of that. I also joined a CrossFit group, CrossFit gym box, and I joined it, for the purpose of developing community.
Yeah.
And the first year was difficult, being, an older person. I'm in my 50s. I had just turned 50 when I joined, and everybody else was in the groove of things. It was of a different ethnic demographic, and it's kind of like I don't fit. And but now, a couple years later, being able to deadlift 210 pounds.
I saw that.
Yeah, yeah. Being able to deadlift 210 pounds, being able to power clean 185. So it's like I'm doing this. I'm living, and I'm strong, and I'm achieving the goals that I want to achieve. The goal for CrossFit was to get tone and to be strong. And yeah, I'm looking good, and I'm proud of that. Yeah. So that's one of the things.
We talk about inspiring others, right? That's what we do. Therapists.
Right.
We help people, we help heal people, we help connect dots, and most importantly, we have to live the life that we're trying to help people do. So
Right.
we have to, we inspire them by doing.
Right.
What's your core message to clients who feel stuck or disconnected, and how can listeners start building resilience in their own lives today?
So the message to those clients that feel stuck, I would say, just make the decision, right? But accept where you are, because part of the healing journey is acceptance. Your past was what it was. That is not this. And being able to accept what is will get you unstuck, right? I told a client the other day, the gist of our sessions with this particular client is, I'm so stuck, I feel so stuck, and I said to her, you feel stuck because where you are is not where you want to be. So take the next step, and it's just not going as fast as you want it to go. Take your time, but just take the next step and accept where you are and pay attention to your goal moving forward. Now, I answered that part. I forgot the second part of the question.
How can listeners start building resilience in their lives today?
I think resilience is built with grit. And grit, athletes dig deep down, find it somewhere and push through it, okay? So there's that part. But to be an excellent athlete, you also need teammates and you need a coach that's gonna see your potential greater than what you can see at the time, right? And when you've done that last whatever suicide that you think that you're gonna, coach is gonna ask for one more.
Absolutely.
And then you're gonna do it because you have that goal in front of you. And so finding that therapist that has you in a safe environment, being able to identify your support system, the people that have shown you the evidence that they're trustworthy and that they're not going anywhere, leaning into that, allowing yourself to trust that, and moving in that direction will help you build the resilience to get you to the other side.
Yeah, that's good. Those are good words.
Thanks.
If there's one takeaway for those struggling with mental health today, what would you want them to know?
I would want them to know that you don't have to struggle anymore, right? Just lean into the help and the support that's available. You have resources. If you don't have money, there are sliding scale therapy offices. If you have a job that has human resources, then take advantage of your EAP, Employment Assistance Program. It's free. You don't have to pay anything. That's it. If you're a believer and you're skeptical about, your faith in God versus therapy, know that the therapy room is a spiritual place. Know that if you're a believer, God is there. And if you're not a believer, it doesn't matter. You're still going to get the help that you need. And you don't have to struggle. You have a purpose here. There's a reason why that you're here, and building resilience will get you through to the other side. If you don't have the grit, there's somebody that will have the grit for you until you can pick it up and take the steps by yourself. You don't have to do this by yourself. You are not alone.
I like that. Okay, so where can the listeners find you or connect with you?
On Instagram, it is Natalie Alexander, LPC. On Facebook, it is Natalie Alexander. On LinkedIn, Natalie Alexander, LPC. I say that with a question mark because it's been a minute since I've been on LinkedIn. My email address is thehealinggracecounseling@gmail.com. And I'm on Psychology Today.
So y'all make sure y'all look up, one of the greatest to ever do it.
Thank you.
Upcoming projects. So you mentioned your book, The Magic of Relationship Resilience. Anything exciting you're working on that the listeners should keep up with?
The book is really going to be the first step into many other things. I am now a support, I'm a facilitator
You're an AU motivator.
I am an AU motivator. That you saw where I was going.
Yeah,
I am an AU motivator
Yeah.
for the Adversity University Support Group, which is really awesome. I facilitate a trauma healing support group where we're at the end of this session, but there's more sessions coming up.
Sure.
And it's a really dope group because it's a safe space where we really get to unpack some things together. This past group that I just finished facilitating, they're different people today than they were 7-8 weeks ago, and I'm grateful for that. So that's another exciting thing. This AU community is dope. You don't want to miss out on getting into this community. Of course, the therapist network community also that Adversity University is facilitating is also a network that is an answer to my prayers to get around therapists that are of the same ethnicity as me and the same goals as me, and we understand each other, and it's a beautiful community to be a part of.
Community.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad to have you, and I appreciate you.
Yes.
So, for those who resonate with your message, what's the best way for them to reach out or support your mission?
They can donate to, I am the founder of the Butterfly Institute. It is a nonprofit organization. So they can definitely get on my website and look and donate to that that program, meaning. And the Butterfly Institute, we actually are motivated to provide education and awareness to low-income couples who otherwise wouldn't walk into a therapy room, but can get it through, free through me and the program. So that's definitely, please donate to that so that other people in the community can receive free mental health therapy.
Okay. Well, Natalie Alexander, everybody.
Thank
Natalie, I
you.
appreciate you. It's just been a good conversation.
Thank you so much.
Man. So